name is Frank Delgado. I'm the director here at Arte Americas and the curator, do a little bit of everything. And this exhibition was very special and sort of magical in the way it all came together. But every time we do have these group shows, we'll have 30, 40 different artists that are showing, and there will be some piece of artwork that people find that they gravitate toward. There'll be some piece of artwork that they'll ask more about. There'll be some artists that they'll want to find out more about. Every time we have a piece by one of these artists, people want to find out more to Arte Americas, and it's exciting to see what happens when you get artists who kind of have the same similar mindset toward life, toward art, toward people. So when you get all of these artists together, there's an energy that's created, and all of these artists are also connected to Arte Americas, so it's very, very exciting. Here today, just really celebrate art, artists, and creativity, and there are these threads, and it's really incredible and beautiful that those threads have brought you here today. So what I want to do is I want to introduce you to some of the artists that are here featured in the exhibition. And I just have three simple questions here, so everybody will just answer the same questions, and then we'll break up here so that you can grab another drink. We have more drinks, we have beers and waters downstairs. We'll check your ID if you look like you're from one, but it's all right. But this, before it was a museum, it was a home, and we call it the Casa de la Cultura, and we really do like to bring that feeling here. I mean, we're in front of the fireplace, we're crying out loud. We had somebody play, it's awesome. So this is the vibe that we want here. You are here in our home, in our living room. We're all here together. And I have some awesome friends that I want to introduce you to, and they'll be your friends by the end of this presentation. So Judy DeRosa, we're going to start with Judy DeRosa, because I think just alphabetically, I think you're at the front, and also because you're right here in the front. Maybe that's the bad part of sitting up here. So please, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Judy DeRosa. So a quick anecdote, you get this quick anecdote. So Judy, she's been a part of various shows. She came to us as part of the women's exhibition that we have every year. And so we've been showing her work. And so usually I'll say, Judy, bring me 2 or 3 pieces. And okay, everybody brings me their pieces. And Judy's like, I couldn't quite decide which one to bring. So I brought these 17 pieces. And so, and I'm like, always like, I want to show all 17. And I end up showing like 16 of them. But so now we are featuring Judy, and everybody always wants to know more about it. And she was on my radio program, very, very compelling. So, ladies and gentlemen, Judy DeRosa.
Thank you all for being here. I have 3 questions in front of me. Where do you live? I live in Oakhurst, but I've just recently moved, so I'm closer to Bass Lake, and it is currently snowed in. So I was hosted by a dear friend, and I stayed in her home last night so that I could be here with you. So I'm really grateful that I got to be here to see your faces and hear your stories. I love meeting people who are making that effort to come and see art and surround themselves in beauty. And I find that I'm inspired by other artists, that it's really an honor to share information visually. And I had the opportunity to teach at the women's prison using art as a venue of communication. And I find that color is another language in my world. And that when we view art and surround ourselves in beauty, we don't really need to know the language to understand and convey what's important to the viewer, which is often a deeper story of a person's life. And I often include puzzle pieces in my artwork. And I was at a very important lecture to me down in Southern California, and I saw a puzzle piece on the floor. And this gentleman was a co-designer in the Manhattan Project, Dr. Dean Brown, who worked with Einstein. And I saw this puzzle piece, and I was thinking, we are all precious connections to each other, and that we've forgotten. And that part of our job is to remember that we're all connected, and that we make this beautiful picture on another level of our consciousness. So it helps us to remember who we really are. So my art is inspired by so many avenues of beauty. I want to thank Rebecca Caballero for inviting me to be a part of the women's shows, and it has been like a flower blooming. It has been a walk of grace to be among such talented people, that we have to remember that we're all talented, that we all have a gift, that we all have some form to express through. And we're here to remind you of that. And so the last question is, what is next for you in terms of art, or what is your dream project? Oh my goodness. I love having my work presented in a beautiful space like Arte Americas. I love to meet the people that view the art, and I love to talk with youth. And so avenues of that sort are important to me. And my next creation is connected to shamanism and using that shamanic aspect of the dream world and using dream therapy in the prisons had brought a whole level of consciousness that helps people to accept this exquisite part of themselves that has never been acknowledged. And we all dream, we all go to bed at night, and we have what are called impossible aspects. So I can walk underwater, I can fly, I can talk to dolphins, I can make magic, and I believe that we can do that in both avenues, that that's part of what we really are. And so we're learning to not be limited in this life experience. Oh, okay. Did I talk too long, Frank?
I mean, you see why I love my job. This is kind of part of like my job. I get to go to talk to artists about their work, and it's this.
I was just presented a puzzle piece.
That you're an important part of the bigger picture.
Thank you so very much.
Oh, welcome.
Okay. Hello, I'm here with Judy
DeRosa.
Judy DeRosa. Now, you had just seen her during her talk that Frank already had questions for everyone. So I'm asking, is there anything that you didn't cover earlier, or that you really wanted to say that you remembered? It's like, oh, I forgot to.
That's a good question. I think that the puzzle piece that I just shared with you was a part of something that I didn't discuss. And you'll see puzzle pieces in a lot of my work because it's a reminder that we are connected and that we make a bigger picture on another level in an avenue or consciousness that we're not even aware of.
So true.
Yes. So that's really important to reconnect to that concept. And I suppose the the other part is that spirit in viewing art, that we get something from exposing ourselves to art and to being around color and nature, that heals us on many levels.
Yes.
And when people come to places like Arte Americas, they get something that's priceless because they take that memory away with them. They often will call me or friend me on Facebook or say, "Do you remember me?" And it's like, "Oh, of course I remember you."
My soul does.
Yeah. And it is because there was a connection, that spark of something happened for them through the artwork.
I would venture to say they remembered you because of the gift that you gave to them, just like.
Yes.
So, oh, thank you so very much. And let me ask you, who was your favorite child? Okay, this here,
Yes.
this piece. Yes.
This is a really interesting piece because this is like big picture thinking. I had the opportunity to study with the Dalai Lama several years ago, and I recognize that black and white is very important in the Tibetan culture and also the Cherokee culture. And so in this painting, you'll see black and white, and you'll see that there is a whole concept of balance. And that when we are out of balance, then our life feels like chaos. But when we are in balance and we remember that, then we feel stronger and more confident. And in this piece, this raven is the guardian of the world. And I'll point out that right there is the earth. And our job is to remember that we're stewards for this earth that we live on, that we're not going to be able to fly off to another planet. So our job is to take care of what we have. And I think that in iconic religious paintings, you'll see a golden halo behind a saint. Well, this is the Saint Raven, you know.
Yes.
There's a sage bowl, abalone,
Yes.
and I believe that our thoughts are like prayers, and that as we think, we create our reality, and that smoke rises up with our wishes, with our thoughts. So be conscious of what we are doing with our thoughts. We think good thoughts about other people, that comes to us. We think good thoughts about the world and being supportive of each other, then that benefits everyone. It's not the me world that we're led to believe. It is a world of great harmony and kindness, and we have forgotten that.
Okay. Now, great harmony and kindness. Thank you so very, very much.
You are so welcome. It's such a pleasure to meet you.
And you. So I need to get this on the air very soon so you can come down and enjoy these wondrous works. Thank you.
Alcohol ink, and she said that it just dries really, really fast. But it looks so kind of. It looks like
It's like it's almost like stained glass. It's like those 60s plasma videos.
That's exactly what. There's the light. Oh, totally.
Thanks, Frank.
We all saw the same.
Yeah, I know.
I totally saw that when I saw it, like that kind of like
Whoa. There's our acid trip. Thank you, Miss Judy. Acid trip or the journey of the mind. These are the works of Judy DeRosa. Please come in and enjoy.